Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Good Intentions with Lisa-Tien. That's me. Oh my god, I'm gonna not be able to stop looking at myself. If you guys are watching this, I just bought some new headphones. I feel like I can barely even hear myself through the headphones. It's like plugged into the mic. I got a new ring light because I need two, and then I also got a second mic because I eventually want to have guests on. And I am not someone that likes to do research that just fucking gives me anxiety of trying to figure shit out, especially when I'm not medicated that day. But anyway, and also hopefully I'm not screaming. I'm not going to keep these headphones on. Actually, I just wanted you guys to look at me and I look like a gamer girl. Like, am I hot? LOL. Okay, well, I'm going to take this mic off. Take these headphones off because that was very strange. Anyway, I got all this podcast stuff because I want to have guests on. One of my best friends, Diana, was supposed to be my first guest tonight. Also, if you guys can hear my nails on my earrings, I'm sorry. I'm just readjusting them. For what? I don't even know. They're not going to be seen past this hair. I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to fucking adjust myself. And I'm not really loving this setup over here. I already mention I bought a new ring light because I need two. So I'm trying to figure out how to use two mics with an iPhone, recording with an iPhone. With the little research that I did do, you can't use a USB mic for an iPhone if it's two mics. So they have to be through the XLR cable. So then I have to find a converter and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's just too much right now. Also, give me a second. Okay, here we are. All right. The light, I don't know if I love the ring light. I guess I'm just going to be rambling. Also, the old baby ring light is back here. I don't love that it's there. Sorry, I'm just all over the place right now. I should have done all of this. I was trying to do all of this before. Maybe I'll leave it in the pot. You can still see it. LOL. Nope, not working. Okay. Can we just ignore that that's there? And now I'm like, oh, well, I'm not even completely centered on the screen. Anyway. To be honest, I am just recording this episode because I'm waiting for the hot fudge sundae that I got from Brahms to refreeze. And I don't like sitting around waiting. I also don't like to watch TV without having something to snack on. Is that a toxic trait? So I kind of forced myself to start recording an episode because I haven't felt the motivation to all of this week. However, I had 2 or 3 podcasts in the deck on. Okay, now I'm fucking rambling. I forgot the term that I use. On deck? I don't even know. Anyway. Oh, the symmetry is gonna fucking drive me insane. I hope this is not annoying for you guys. I'm well, those of y'all that are listening, I'm sure my sound is going in and out. And then if y'all are watching, I'm just fidgeting. I'm just this new setup. Anyway, so yes, my best friend Diana was supposed to come on the pod today, but she had things to do and didn't have enough time to get ready. So by the time she was able to come around, she did not have her makeup on and she was down for a pod, but not a video pod. And I'm not about that. So we're going to postpone that. Also, my ADHD bestie, Justy, is also going to be a guest on the pod. Eventually, we want to start our own podcast together, but we both have ADHD and we procrastinate. So that's to come. I don't even know what the fuck I want to talk about today. I was just you know what? let's go. Let's do it. We got this new gear. It can't just be sitting around in these boxes. Let's set it up. Let's see how things look. Let's see how things feel. And here we are. And I guess I kind of had a little bit of an idea. So me and my best friend Diana, since the fourth grade bitch, we went to Japan House, which is an all-you-can-eat sushi place. Per usual, that's like our favorite spot. Well, all of us friends, that's our favorite spot together. But anyway, the two of us are just talking and we're literally laughing, cackling like we're freaking in high school. And people are looking at us and it's fine. Also, I feel like I have something in my nose. I'm so sorry. Is this fucking episode cringe? This is literally my brain. I'm like, and also what time is it? My watch is all the way over there. I think it's 6 or 7 maybe. Oh no, I think it's 8. It's 8 something p.m. And that's my brain today, babies. I stayed up late for no reason at all whatsoever last night. I actually spent a lot of time on my phone. Instagram Reels be getting me, yo. Like, I refuse to be on TikTok. I mean, I post stuff on TikTok, but I don't scroll through the TikTok because I know that algorithm shit is real. So I just watch Reels on Insta. I like to look at hot guys. Like, I love Martin Garrix. I love watching his stories on Instagram. My new obsession is also Glenn Powell. Love him. He's an Austin boy. I'm a Texas girly. And, we're going to manifest at least one of these relationships to happen. Okay? It is happening. It is in the books. It is the universe. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming for you. I'm coming for you. Okay. That, wow, is just 7 minutes and 30 seconds of me being unhinged as fuck. Wow. Welcome to Unhinged. That is the name of the podcast that me and my bestie, ADHD bestie, want to do. Oh my God. I'm on one right now. Anyway, obsessions. Men. We love men. I love a hot man. Speaking of men, I was checking TikTok this morning and one of my best friends / roommate, I live with her, sent me this TikTok. Basically, it was apply now for this casting, and it was for like a reality TV show or a dating show or whatever it may be. And I was like, okay, slay. Because literally the night before I was thinking that, like, should I audition for stuff? Because I've always wanted to act, but I didn't really take theater seriously anymore. Like, once I kind of got into middle school and into athletics, like, I didn't really care about theater. But in the 3rd grade, hey, I was Clara in the Nutcracker. Like, I loved theater. I loved choir and shit like that. So I'm like, maybe I should just start auditioning for things, I know a lot of people have this mindset of us being in our 30s and like, oh, we're so old and we need to have our life figured out and blah, blah, blah. But really, we're fucking babies. I feel like we are babies still. Like, if I had a kid right now, I would feel like that's a teen pregnancy. Like, I mean, I did get married. I was just about to say, like, if I got remarried or got married in general, like, I would be a child bride. Like, I still feel very baby, and I don't think that's because I'm immature, so don't even think that. Okay? I feel like I'm very mature. But we're still very young, very youthful. Okay? But another tangent. So a lot of people feel like we're at this age, right, that we should be getting married and we should be having kids and we should be buying a house and blah, 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 blah. And we are still so young. Like, we're in our 30s. well, I say we, I'm just assuming, I don't know who all is listening to this, but I and my friends, we're in our 30s. Barely, right? I just turned 31 this year. And if you feel old at this age, I'm just like, we have so many more years left. Like, imagine being in our 60s or 70s. Imagine if we feel old right now in our still prime, imagine how we would feel when we get to 60. Like, that's insane. Anyway, work out, lift weights so that you stay and feel young forever. Another tangent. Okay, so yes, everyone feels like at this age we need to have everything figured out. I don't think that's true. And even if we do have some sort of shit figured out now, anything can happen. Things change. People decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go into a different career, right? Okay, so then do that. But don't feel like, oh my God, I'm behind. And also don't compare yourself to other people, because that's poison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Like, do not compare yourself to other people. Other people have different obstacles that they are going through. You don't know what those obstacles are. You only know what you're going through. So let's get that shit in gear, shift that mindset. We're still young. We have many years left, and there's still so much time to figure out what the fuck we want in life, what we want to do, everything. Also, I hope this lighting isn't like absolutely terrible, because now I'm like, low key, is it a little dark? Ugh. So maybe let's just brighten it a little bit. There's like 3 light settings. There's like a warm tone, a cool tone, and a whatever the fuck is this tone. And I only like the warm tone. Okay. Fuck. I'm feeling very unhinged, and I'm saying that for the second time. I keep fidgeting, keep moving this mic around. So if you guys are watching me, I'm sorry. And if you guys can hear shit, I'm also sorry. And it's really driving me insane that I am not exactly in the middle of this. Bear with me. I'm gonna try to adjust this fucking shit one more time. And we're just back to where we were. You know what? That's just gonna have to be okay. That's just gonna have to be okay for now, as I go in to adjust it again. One more time. Hate it. Fuck. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to edit all this shit out. Don't hate me, you guys. Literally. So what's everybody been up to? Tangents. I'm internally screaming inside because I still am not a fan of, first of all, I think the ring light is like 13 inches. So that's a lot of fucking light, and it's kind of blinding my eyes, and I can't really quite see, but all right. So where was I? My best friend and I, Tiana, we were eating all-you-can-eat sushi at Japan House, cackling away, and it made me feel like we were still in high school, and I love that for us. Like, our friendship is just, I feel like, on another level. So in our friend group, in our group chat, bestie group chat, there's 5 of us, but each friendship with each one of them is so different. But I think it's because me and Diana both have ADHD. It's very clear that we do. To me now, anyway, that I'm a little educated on it. But I think that's how we just vibe on like this other fucking level, where we're laughing at shit that probably isn't really funny to other people, or maybe it is. I don't know, whatever. But it just made me feel really grateful for my friendship. So I kind of want to talk about this, about people who are in abusive relationships with a narcissist. and how important it is to have your support system. Because a narcissist will try everything they can to isolate you from your family, to isolate you from your friends, and that way that you are only dependent on them, right? You only have them. Why do they want that? They want that so that they can manipulate you and you don't have anyone else to go to for advice. You only have them to depend on. Oh my God, this light is blinding me. Right. That way they can cheat on you, they can do this, they can do that, they can demand things from you, they can argue with you, they can do whatever they want to you to get what they want, and you don't have anyone to go to. Therefore, you're just stuck with them and you're stuck in their reality, and their reality is all that you know, and you don't have someone else to be like, hey, is this crazy? Hey, is this me? Right? I am so fucking lucky and blessed to have had the support system that I have, my friends, my clients, my coworkers, to be able to go to them and communicate as clearly as I can with as much as I can remember, both sides, my side, his side, how he feels, how I feel, what he said, what I said, what the situation was, and for them to be like, no, it is not you. It is them, right? And I just saw this video of Anna Kendrick on a podcast talking about how she was in an abusive relationship for 7 years. And she said, this is the exact same thing for me. I don't remember how long into the relationship, but my best friend who I live with, who's also a therapist, sent me information about narcissists. And I'm going through the list and I'm like, I mean, some of it sounds like him, but some of it doesn't. And like, I don't know. It's kind of like, so that's what Anna Kendrick was saying. She was like, it was so hard for her to realize that she was in an abusive relationship because it wasn't your typical standard abuse, that we know. This person wasn't yelling at me. Well, they were, but this person wasn't hitting me, right? This person wasn't like blatantly saying, oh, you're fucking ugly or shit like that, Like the abuse was very under the radar, very subtle, very like, I'm just going to throw this little thing at you and see how you feel about it. And if you just brush it off the shoulder or under the rug, then I'm going to throw this other thing at you. And then I'm going to throw this bigger thing at you. And then if you're not reacting the way that I want you to, then I'm just going to tell you, oh, I'm sorry that you took it that way. That's not really how I meant it to be. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I did take it the wrong way. And then they'll throw another thing at you. And then they'll throw another fucking thing at you. Like, that is how toxic and manipulative these people actually can be. And so she was also talking about how difficult and how it felt so real and how it was possible for her to think that it was her, right? Like, I genuinely thought that it was me. I knew it wasn't, but there was this part of me that was like, oh my God, but what if it is? Like, what if he's right? What if it is me? What if I am being defensive? What if I really, truly am not like, ugh? And how that happens is, okay, so there are like 7, I think, different types of narcissists. There's also different other diagnoses with narcissism or whatever the fuck. But some of them, I think, the ones that are like more sociopathic are aware of what they're doing, but some aren't aware. And some, I would say, my ex included, the pain that they feel is real. I remember one time we were tripping and I had this revelation, like, oh my God, my partner is genuinely feeling this hurt and pain from my actions. And that must really suck. So the fucked up part was me realizing that on shrooms just made me feel even more empathetic towards him and this fake ass reality, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, like the person that I love, my husband, he really is hurting. He really is in so much pain. But the thing is, that may be true. That's not your fucking problem. Point blank, period. Because it's not real. Because you aren't doing this to them. You aren't doing anything to them. You are not deliberately causing them any pain. How they feel is their responsibility. That is on them. Okay, I'm not going out of my way and like, fuck you, I'm gonna do this just to fuck with him. You know, like how you get so lost is the feelings that they feel are genuine. Is it right? No. Is it reality? No. But it's real. It's real to them. It is a real issue. So therefore, they make it your issue. And then you get sucked into it because you do love this person. You do care about this person. This person is your partner. And if you are a true, genuine, empathetic person, that is going to hurt you. Your partner hurting is going to hurt you, and you're going to want to change. You're going to want to fix things. You're going to want to try to make things better because that person, that's your person, you know? So like she was saying, something that was something that she realized was like, oh my God, like he really is feeling all of this. And she said she was in this relationship for 7 years. Like, holy shit. I'd known him for 5. We were together total for 3, you know, married for less than 2. And I just always felt so confused. Like, oh, me not asking you this, me forgetting this, me doing this, me not saying that, blah, blah, blah. Like everything was an ordeal. And I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. I posted something on TikTok yesterday. I think it was just something about like how life is just so much better when you're free, when you're safe, when you're not in a relationship like that. And a girl commented on it and she said, oh yeah, I used to be in a relationship like that where he would wake me up in the middle of the night. And I was like, oh my God, my ex did that same thing. So if we were in an argument, okay, and I was resistant, and because it's going on and he's wearing me down, that I finally just like cave and give in and say whatever it is that I know that he wants me to say, and then I'll just say it. But like if I don't say it convincingly, then he will know, oh, you're just saying it just to say it. You don't actually mean it. Like I want you to really mean it. I want you to really mean it. And so you kind of just, they literally just groom you. Like you kind of just learn how to apologize the way that they want you to apologize, even if you don't believe it, even if you don't feel that way, even if you don't agree with it, because you just want it to end. You just want it to be over. So you literally will just say whatever it is that you know that they want you to say and how to say it in the tone and the whatever, the persuasiveness or the passion behind of how you're saying it. And if okay, and it may be convincing in that moment, and then we'll go to bed, and then if he can't go to sleep, he's a light sleeper anyway. I think it's hard for him to go to sleep because of all the bullshit that he's done to people in the past. On top of all the bullshit he feels like other people have done to him. So it's hard for him to go to sleep. If it is hard for him to go to sleep after we've argued and quote unquote resolved the issue, he will wake me up. Lisa. And sometimes I'll pretend not to hear him, but he doesn't care. He'll wake me up. Lisa. I'm still upset. So when that girl commented on my TikTok about it, I was like, oh my God, he used to do that. Like, I remember, even if we weren't arguing, you know, even if like that day was fine, if I felt him like rolling around in his sleep, I would get this gut wrenching anxiety in my fucking stomach because he's moving around. I'm like, oh my God, please don't wake up. Oh my God, is he about to say something? Like, oh my God, please no. Isn't that fucked up? If he's tossing and turning and he's like, everything's fine, but because this has happened so much to where it literally is like PTSD. Because when he would wake up, it was just like, I already know what to expect. We're going to argue. He's going to tell me how wronged he felt about this, about that, and how I don't care, and how he's so sick of it, and he's just been trying to do this, and he's done everything that he can to change, and I'm still the one that hasn't changed, and I'm still the one that's not doing this, and I'm still the one that blah, 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 blah. And it would just go on and on and on and on. And what he wants me to do, okay, is to sit there and listen to him. Do not interrupt. Listen and acknowledge what he's saying. And when he's done, to repeat what he said in my own words. That way he knows that I understand what was said. And then what am I going to do? Okay, but also apologize. But also, I'm tired of hearing you apologize. So that was always like, do I say sorry or do I not say sorry? Literally, it's like, you never win, okay? And then on top of that, it's telling me what you're going to do differently next time so that you don't do this to me again. And if I resist or argue or try to explain myself or try to reason my side or whatever, no. You know what that man would do? Oh, well, now I don't feel heard, so now I have to say it all over again. And then he would just have to say it all over again. And then it would have been many hours later. And on top of that, to top it off, because the fact that he can't sleep and because the fact that he is upset, I should get him off. Because that's the only way he can go to sleep is after he comes. And him going into the other room and jerking off isn't an option. It's definitely me either blowing him with intensity or letting him hate fuck me. That's the only way, because he's frustrated, and how else is he supposed to get his frustrations out? Oh my gosh, like honestly, whenever I do reflect on this, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. But sometimes I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's like disgusting to me that happened. And that like in those moments, when I am literally in the moment, there's like nothing else I can do. I can't try to leave because he's kept me from leaving before. Which is crazy when I think about it. So like literally in those moments, I am not safe. It's just so wild. So circling this back to friendships, I am so thankful to have my friends, my family, my coworkers, my clients, like everyone who has been there for me has been on my side with the back and fucking forth all these years. I think I need to leave. I don't want to do this. Oh, well, things are getting better. No, they're not getting better anymore. I really think I should leave. I can't do this anymore. I'm not happy, blah, blah. Oh, well, things are getting better. Like literally it's a cycle. It is a cycle, never ending, never gonna end. It is never going to end. You think it's getting better. It's not getting better, sis or sir. It's not gonna get better. So you have to realize that cycle and you have to fucking get the fuck out. But another tangent or another point. The support system is so fucking important because they are your sounding board. They are reality. They are like, oh my gosh, oops. Your saving grace, truly. And because these types of people are so good at what they do and so good at being manipulative, there are situations and relationships that people have been in where, say, their best friend speaks up and says something to them. And they might get a little defensive, right? And they might tell their partner about it. Okay, now their partner is going to do whatever that they can to discredit the best friend. Even lie and say, oh, well, she tried to sleep with me. When potentially that partner could have originally been the one to hit on the best friend, and then the best friend says, ew, no, and then the best friend tries to tell that friend, and now the partner is fucking lying, and because you've already been manipulated so much that you believe your partner instead of your best friend, who literally is just trying to help you, and now you are no longer friends with your best friend. Isolated. Same thing with family. That's just what they fucking do. So, friends, just hang in there, okay? Just be there for them. And I know it fucking hurts, especially in that specific situation where you did absolutely nothing wrong. You are in touch with reality. You're literally trying to help this person, and this person is just so manipulated that they just fucking can't. Okay, like, I hope and wish that you guys don't abandon them because they're going to need you. And if that person, okay, who is in the abusive relationship does not have a support system, that is going to make it even fucking harder for them to leave because they don't have anyone. And sure, your perception or mindset on that situation could be, well, they did it to themselves, or, well, I tried and they didn't want to listen to me. Oh, well, they can't get their head out of their ass or whatever. Like, I understand the hurt, okay? But you have to have compassion, I feel like. And just be around because they are 100% going to need you. And I can only hope, okay, my intention of this fucking podcast is to bring to light this situation and share my story and share every instance that I can fucking remember so that I can say, hey, this is what happened and this is how I felt in the moment and how I was empathetic or how I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but now I'm out of it. I realized, like, oh no, he was doing this for this. He was this was his intention, and all of it was fucking manipulation. All of it. I'm going to say a little snippet here because I do eventually want to do an episode and share the whole fucking story of what happened when I left, why I came back, why I left again, why I came back, and why I finally left. Right? So this little snippet that after I said all of that, I can't quite remember exactly what it was that I was going to share, but oh yeah. So we were tripping on his redo birthday weekend. I knew I had to leave. I left the next day. But the next day, okay, so that night when we got back from his redo birthday weekend, I could tell that he was upset. He said that a threesome would be nice, but it doesn't have to happen. Like, don't feel the pressure for it to happen. It's just like the idea of a threesome happening, and it didn't happen. And I could tell he was upset. And I asked, "Hey, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "I mean, a threesome would have been nice, but, you know, blah, blah, blah." And we're also supposed to go to the strip club after the pool party, but of course we didn't, because we ended up arguing because they are very hypervigilant, and he could tell that something was wrong. He could tell that something was wrong. And of course there was. He asked me to dance and I didn't want to dance. When do I not want to dance? Never. One, I was tripping and I was on drugs, so I didn't want to dance. But two, I had the revelation of the fact that he was a narcissist, and the fact that I actually, oh, hey, you're still in an abusive relationship. You thought he changed. He didn't. He's a liar. Right? So I'm realizing all of this. I'm feeling scared. I'm not feeling safe. Luckily, my best friend's there with me. And now I have to go home to this man. And I'm like, how am I supposed to hold it together? How am I supposed to leave again this second time? Like, I'm literally thinking about all of this stuff. I'm like, literally had to plan my escape that first time. My friends came to help me move my shit. I'm like, what am I supposed to do this second time around? You know, like thinking about all this stuff. On top of, hello, he can read me. Like, what is the plan here? So we start to get into an argument. We're not going to the strip club, but like we're going to have sex, right? Because I'm like, I'm just trying to fucking do whatever it is to stay alive, basically. And he can tell, so he brings it up and he's just like, oh, well, there's just nothing more I can do. I've done everything that I can. I'm not this old guy anymore. I'm this new guy. Like, it's really up to you. Like, you have to be the one to change. You're still traumatized by this old guy, but I'm not that guy anymore. I'm this new guy. And this new guy doesn't deserve what you're doing. Like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, right? So because the rose-colored glasses have already shattered, I am aware of everything that is coming out of his mouth. It is not affecting me in any kind of way in which it would have before the rose-colored glasses shattered. Because everything he said, anything he did, I believed him and I listened to him. I felt guilty. I was like, oh, fuck, like maybe he's right. But because I realize this now, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, oh, manipulation. Oh, gaslighting. Oh, wow. This was my relationship the whole time? Like, holy fucking shit. And it was. Right? So I basically just told him, hey, you know what? You're right. You have changed. And whatever it is that I need to learn, I can't learn it in this environment. I think it's best that I go stay at my friend's house for a little bit, maybe like a couple weeks. And then after that, I don't know, my mom's moving back here and maybe I should just stay with her for a little bit, because you're right. Like, I still am traumatized by the old guy, and you've kind of already done everything. Like, you have changed, and I need to figure this out, and I can't do this here. Like, it's really hard and blah, blah, blah. And, blah, 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 blah. And you know, like, I'm just putting it on myself. I'm just saying whatever I need to say. Everything out of his mouth that night was manipulation, was persuasion. Like, one thing he said was, oh, well, you know, you're going to have to be the one to tell the girl's mom that you're leaving again. And he said that to make me feel bad, to use my guilt against me, because he knew I did not want to move back in, because that was the girl's mom's request. She was very supportive of our decision no matter what we did. She just didn't want us to do what they did, which was the on and off, the back and forth, because that's not healthy for kids to witness. Oh, like, and he would also involve the girls. Okay, one time I did pack up my stuff to go stay at my friend's house. The plan was to stay there for a week just to have space. And I did not think that I had to ask this man to keep the girls in the room and not let them know. So my friend came with me, and I went in there, and he just looks at me, and he goes into the girls' bedroom. And I think I'm good, right? Because I've already told him, look, I'm going to go stay at Skylar's house for a little bit. The girls come running out of the bedroom. They're crying. They both jump on me. Lisa, we don't want you to go. Please don't go. Blah, blah, blah. And then his ass walked out, and I'm just looking at him like, did you tell them? He was like, well, yeah, I'm not going to lie to them. And my friend's in the kitchen like, what the fuck? Like, that is so fucked up. But that's what he would do. He would involve the girls. He would involve his dad. He would involve his friends. Have them call me like, hey, we don't really know what's going on. Like, can't you just talk to him? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, the term I believe is flying monkeys. So like, narcissists will use other people to get to you. It's just all part of the manipulation. Right, so that night, he's saying all this shit. Oh, well, you're going to have to be the one to tell the girl's mom and blah, 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 blah. Like, I forget what all else he said, but everything he said was just trying to persuade me. And guess what? I stayed up all night. No, don't go, please. But like everything. And so then the next day, I was like, look, like, well, the next day was a Monday, and that was supposed to be the day where it's his birthday celebration. So I'm going to cook all this food that I bought, and we're supposed to have sex all day. So he was like, well, how about we just, trip again today? And I was like, honestly, like, I don't really want to. But he kept bringing it up. And of course, that's just manipulation. That's just persuasion. And my friend, so I had a plan of my friend coming over, right, for quote unquote dinner. And then I'm going to leave with him. But he wasn't able to come until literally like dinner time. He could not come any earlier than like 6 or 7. And I'm like, fuck. Because I cannot leave. I can't leave the house because he will keep me from leaving. Could I have called the cops? Sure. But I think in that moment it would have been like, oh, that's so dramatic. So I said, fuck it. All right, I'll trip. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'll trip and I'm just going to meditate. We're just going to get this mindset right. And that's exactly what I did. But in this meditation, I'm like realizing everything that he said that night, everything that he said that morning. And we had sex like a few times that day. And he was just very like, oh, like lovey-dovey, like extra moaning, like extra into it. Like, oh, you feel so good. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all a fucking show. It's all an act. And I fucking know it. And you know what the thing is? That day, he could no longer read me. I could read him. I can look at his face and see his brain firing and wiring and trying to figure out, what is she thinking right now? What is it that I can say? And we did meditations for hours. And he supposedly is this new spiritual person, and he does meditations all day while I'm at work. And we do like 2 or 3. And I think they were all like 20 to 30 to 40-minute meditations. And after the third, he was like, oh man, like this is really getting heavy. Like, I don't think I can do this. So we took a little break, and he was just like, oh, well, do you mind if I ask you like what you were meditating about? Like, it's just the and it's not just what he's saying, it's the way he's saying it. Since the rose-colored glasses shattered, it's like, oh, I can fucking see right through you. Like, this man, you are full of shit. And even when he's crying, I can now see they're like crocodile tears. When I used to see him crying, it used to really hurt me that my partner was in this much pain. But when he's crying that day, and of course that was the day that I left also, was like, when I'm seeing him crying, there's just like nothing. There's like no fucking emotion. It's just face. There's no feeling in that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, fucking wow. Like, that was just an insane thing for me to witness. But at that moment, I was still, the ties were severed, right? But there was still this connection. There was still like this, I haven't had the space away to completely process. Like, if I saw him in public right now, I'd probably like fucking scream. I know there are a few things I might do. I might spray him in the face with the mace that he got me. Is it called mace? I might scream. I might like just flip him off. Like, I don't even know. I don't know. I hoped that I don't ever have to fucking run into that man. But how I feel today is completely different than how I felt the day that I left. Because the day that I left, like, you don't have the space to completely process what the fuck happened. There's just so much fog, right? And a part of me still felt a little empathetic towards him. And I still felt like I wanted to protect him. Like, I hadn't quite realized the magnitude of the fucked upness that there was. I mean, I see it all now. And it's just like laughable. But anyway, support system, friends. Please stay there and be there for your friends. Oh my God, it is so important. And if you are in relationships like this, please do not allow this person to isolate you. Keep your friends close, communicate, talk to them, share. Don't feel shame. Don't feel guilt. I know those are things you're going to feel. That's completely normal. But hey, it is also completely normal. Being in a situation like that, it fucking happens, okay? It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. Like, it is just something that happens. Do not feel stupid. Do not feel like shit about yourself. It's not you. It's them. And I know you might feel dumb, but the people that this works on, the people that make the best prey for these predators are people who are overly empathetic. Like, you feel other people's feelings. That's not something to be ashamed about. Right? And empathy is a fucking amazing, wonderful thing. But having empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. I'm going to say that again. Empathy, I feel like, is a superpower. Empathy is an amazing thing. But having empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. You have to disconnect from emotions that aren't yours. They're not your emotions. How other people feel is how other people feel. That's not your emotion. That's not you. So you have to detach, you have to differentiate between the difference. Of course, when you love someone and they're hurt, you're going to feel that. But when you love someone and they're hurt, but they're hurting you, and you feel like you're going crazy and you're lost and you're confused and you don't understand because you're trying your best to do whatever it is, right, to keep the peace, but somehow everything you do, everything you say, everything you don't say, everything that you don't do, you're not winning. It's never ending. Yeah, at some point you have to take a step back and realize and understand it's not you. It's not you. You're not doing anything to them. It is just them and how they perceive and view the world and themselves. So having a support system, holy fucking shit, that is just so important. And if you don't have a support system, I am fucking here for you. Okay? If you're listening to this, if you follow me on social media, whatever, if you reach out and message me, I will be there for you. I will be and help you, okay? Be your sounding board. Because I know, holy fucking shit, what it's like to be in that. And the crazy thing too is like when you do tell people your story, or when I was telling people about the relationship, about things that was happening in the relationship, and like the way that they would look at me, like the face that they would make, the sounds that would come out of their mouths when I tell them these situations, they'd be like, "Oh, Lisa." Like, "Oh, sweetie." Oh, like so distraught, so. And I remember like, yeah, but like sometimes I would be like, "Oh shit, like did I say too much? Like should I not have said that because now they feel this way?" No. Their reaction is 100% valid, normal. The only reaction that one can expect from someone that cares about the person who they're talking to. The person that's sharing this, their reaction is completely valid. It's normal. Because they are on the outside and they can see the absolute fuckery. And when you're in it, you don't see shit. All you see is your partner's reality. All you see is what they want you to see. All you feel is what they want you to feel. But that's not you. You know your truth. You know your truth. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not fat. You're not crazy. You're not lazy. You're not incompetent. You're not retarded, is what this man said to me. All night one night. Well, he didn't call me a retard all night. I'm pretty sure he used the word retard twice. But all night one night asked me, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Ha! And this happened because I had done something way too many times in such a short amount of time. It was in like a week time span where I fucked up one too many times and he had enough. And the incident that threw him over the edge was I was setting up a threesome with this girl who was down to sleep with the both of us. And she's messaging me and she's messaging him and every day, like sending snaps and blah, blah, blah. And he said, like girls like this that are like too much, that are sending too much, they're usually just all talk. So either they're going to suck in bed or they're just going to like blow you off. And she did blow us off. Just a few hours before she was going to come over, she said, "Hey, I'm just now getting off of work and I kind of feel sick and I don't want to get y'all sick. And I kind of just want to go home and rest," because she had a trip to Mexico or some shit. And he was pissed. He was so pissed that she didn't tell us earlier. She knew. Okay. But then also he was mad at me that I didn't vet her out enough, and like he expected to have a threesome and now he's not gonna get to have a threesome, and what the fuck am I gonna do about it, and blah 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 blah. Like, okay, so anyway, that girl reached back out to me and she said, "Hey, do we want to surprise him? I'm so sorry, blah blah blah." And I thought about setting up the surprise and I was talking to her, and then eventually I forget exactly how it went down, but basically I think we were in the middle of arguing, and then I blurred out how like I'm talking to this girl and we're trying to set up like another meetup, and he was like, "Oh my god, you're talking to her behind my back," and blah 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 blah, and like, I don't want to fuck her anymore. She, like, what she did was messed up for blowing us off and blah, 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 blah. And you should have told me that she was reaching out to you and this, that, or whatever. And then I don't even know. And then the next thing that happened was she reached out again. And this was all, I think, within like 2 week time span. So she reached out again. And I remembered what my ex had said. He was like, if she reaches back out to you, I hope you would have my back. And so when she did reach back out to me, I said, he's really upset about like what you did and how things went down. So I don't think it's a good idea if we, meet up or blah, blah, blah. So then he asked me, oh, well, I brought it up. Oh, yeah, so-and-so messaged me. And that's all I said. And then later that day, he was like, well, I'm curious. What did she message you and what did you say back? Because the way that I brought it up, it made him seem like I said something good. And I was like, oh, she just, whatever. Like, hey, let's plan something. And I was just like, well, he's really upset with you and what you did. So I don't think that's going to be a good idea because it was kind of wrong and blah, blah, blah. He flipped the fuck out because he was like, oh my God, you did the opposite of what I said. You just threw me under the bus. I feel like you just stabbed me in the back. Of course she knew I was upset. I blocked her and blah, 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 blah. And like, those were the things that I did wrong that made him call me a fucking retard and ask me what was wrong with him, and that he just felt it was like I was his mom betraying him because supposedly his mom never had his back. And that was a whole ordeal. And the fucked up part about that was we're arguing, or well, at this point, I'm not even saying shit, actually. Like, I just sat there all night and listening to him calling me a retard and that I'm incompetent and that I don't understand this, and why does he have to keep repeating himself and saying these same things, and I just don't get it. And I think this was this was the same. Okay, so this was the same day. The girls were there because the next morning he had to take the girls to school and I didn't get to have any sleep. And so when he woke up, or the alarm went off or whatever, he was passive aggressive. He left all the lights on. He wasn't slamming the doors or anything, but he was like visibly like fucking pissed off. Took the girls to school. The fucked up part about this whole thing was when he left, I'm sitting there. Okay, I'm getting ready for work and I'm like, I need to hurry up so I can get out of here. So sometimes he'll get home maybe like 5 or 10 minutes before I'm just about to leave for work. The fucked up thing was I'm sitting there with my binder, a piece of paper, writing an apology letter, apologizing for my behavior or how I was and how that made him react the way that it did. Wow. Isn't that fucking crazy? That this grown-ass man threw a temper tantrum, yelled at me, called me names, basically degraded me, put me down, and now I'm apologizing to him. Because I know that if I don't apologize or try to make things right, that I'm in for a rude fucking awakening. And I mean that quite literally. Like, I will not get any sleep. And if I say, I'm fucking out of here and I want to leave, then he'll throw some other guilt trip against me. Like, you always want to quit when things get hard instead of trying to smooth things over for once. And just so fucked up. So fucked up. So he caught me, okay? He got home just in time as I'm writing this letter. And still, at this moment, I have not said a single word to this man. I didn't say anything that night when he was yelling at me all night, calling me a fucking retard. And I think earlier I mentioned he only said it twice. I'm pretty sure he said it more than twice, actually. Didn't say anything, didn't move, didn't say I'm packing up my shit. Literally just sat there while this man, who's supposed to be my husband, oh so lovingly, yells at me all fucking night long. That was the first time something like that had ever happened. And I was so fucking shocked. So shocked. So I'm in the middle of writing this apology letter, right? And it's in a binder, in my binder full of my notes from my personal training certificate. Still haven't said a word to him. He's home. He's fuming. He comes over to me, picks up my binder, throws it across the room against the wall. My notes fly out of the binder. Still didn't say anything to him. I just go over there. I pick up my notes, kind of like a little disheveled. Is that the right word? Put it back in my binder. I put the binder in the guest bedroom, and now it's time for me to go to work. So I grab my lunchbox, grab my purse, put it in the car. In the passenger seat, I go over to open the driver's side door. He comes out in the garage, has my binder in his hand, throws it against the wall on the other side of the room. Notes shatter everywhere. I won't say shatter, but like just, they go everywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay. I go over there to pick up my binder and my notes. He opens my my passenger side door, grabs my lunchbox, which is opened because I have a lot of shit in there. Throws it in the driveway. Tupperware glass flying out. Broken. No breakfast. Coffee spills. Still haven't said a single word to this man. I just go over there. I grab the lunchbox. Whatever else that was in that I can. That wasn't broken, that wasn't spilled, and put it back in my lunchbox, put it back in the car, and I just drive off. Still haven't said anything to him. Didn't even drive like completely out of the neighborhood yet. Maybe a minute, 2 minutes. He calls me. It's not fucking fair that every time we get into an argument like this, you get to just run off away to work. You need to come back home and make this right. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not fair. Why do I have to sit here and be angry and upset and blah, 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 blah. He was like, if you don't, you need to call into work right now and come home and make this right, or I'm throwing your stuff outside on the driveway. Oh, also, and he says, and you better not throw me under the bus. So I call work. I call my boss. I said, verbatim, hey, I'm sorry, I can't come in. Can you call my clients? My husband says that if I don't come home right now and make things right, because we've been arguing all night, that he's going to throw my stuff outside in the driveway. And she was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I guess I just have to go back home. And she's like, okay, call me if you need anything. If anything happens, we're here for you, blah, blah, blah. They called my clients. Bada bing, bada boom. I turned back around. And again, I mean, we lived like right by the 7-Eleven that's right outside the neighborhood. And I had already driven past there. So anyway, it had, I don't know how many miles away from the house. Not that long. Literally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Turn back around. And I walk back into the driveway. The glass Tupperware is still in the driveway. Pull into the garage. I come back inside. He had already thrown some of my clothes on the floor, just in the living room. The backyard door is open for some reason. Maybe he was going to throw my stuff out in the backyard or something. I forget exactly where he was in the house when I walked back in, but when I walked into the bathroom, and I think it was our linen closet door that he punched or kicked a hole into. And I'm saying I think because he's also done that to our closet door. So that's why. And I just look at that door. It's not just a hole. It's like the whole fucking door is just, psh, psh. I don't know if it's punches, elbows, whatever. He used to train MMA. Did he? I don't know. But could have been a lie. Again, this is the first time I've seen this much explosiveness and violence from him. He had yelled at me before. He'd raised his voice at me before. I like once or twice, maybe. I forget. A lot of times it's just like yelling or like crying and frustration, like, but the first time he like yelled at me was in front of the girls. And I remember I was like, what the fuck? But seeing my clothes on the floor, him yelling at me, calling me names all night long, keeping me up all night long, forcing me to call into work, saying I better not throw him under the bus. Seeing that he fucked up the linen closet door and how angry and upset he was. I should have been scared, and maybe I was scared. I don't really remember what in that moment I felt. I'm sure there was fear, for sure. But whatever I felt in that moment, I should have felt a lot more. Like, I should have been like, oh, this is like fucked up. Like, I'm not safe here. Right? But it was more like, oh shit, I did something. Let's not try to like tip the boat any longer or any more than we have to. Like, let's just fucking lay low and disappear, basically. And I just had to sit there and listen to him call me incompetent and whatever else, voice his frustrations even more so. And again, he asked me, what did you say when you called into work? And I said, I told her I couldn't go into work because we're fighting. And, you threw me under the bus. I don't know how to lie. Like, I am not a manipulative person. I don't fucking lie. I don't know how to. Like, I know that was a white lie. I didn't say, oh, I can't come into work because we're fighting. I told her, right? Because I knew that whatever was going on was not right, and I'm not going to keep secrets. Okay? No. I am going to let people know what the fuck is going on so that if anything ever happened, we know what's going on, right? So, of course, there was already this part of me that knew. This is fucked up. This is fucked up. He blew up because this girl we were supposed to have a threesome with. like I don't even want to repeat it because how stupid, how insane that fucking is. And that was the beginning of the nightmare. And I remember we continued to fucking argue. Things did not get better. They actually were getting worse. And I was going off to vacation with my roommate that I live with now. And I told her about this whole situation. And he's saying like, this is not me. This is not who I am. You're making me be this way. And this was the old me. This was teenage me. This was blah, blah, blah. Like 16-year-old me, all angry and fucking blah, blah, blah. But I'm not this person. I haven't been this person in a long time. Like, narcissists will not fucking take accountability for fucking shit. They blame other people for how they react, or they use other people's reactions to justify how they're reacting. Okay, they are blaming, they are deflecting. They will not take accountability or ownership for the fucked up shit that they feel or what they are doing. Okay, but that is not normal. That's not normal. For a grown ass adult to throw a temper tantrum, that's not normal. For a grown adult to get angry like that, not normal. For a grown adult to yell at their partner all night long, not normal. And not just yell, put them down, degrade them, call them a fucking retard or incompetent or stupid or they don't get it. You don't get it. I'm not calling you stupid, but I mean like, not normal, not normal, not normal. Someone that does that to their partner, okay, that's not love. That is not love. That is not love. They do not love you. They love what you can do for them and what they can get from you. The status, the appearance, like ego, whatever image that they can get from you, your money, sex, whatever, but they do not love you. You do not treat someone that you love that way. Point blank, period. And like I said, that was the beginning. And like I said, they push boundaries. They are just testing the waters. They are just getting their feet wet to see what they can get away with. You let them get away with that? They'll try it again. If they are not getting whatever it is that they want, they will try that shit again. If that doesn't work, they will try something else. My therapist said, when I saw her after I left the first time, because things did get a little physical. Were there bruises? Was there pain? No, but it was intimidation. It was physical. And it was not okay. Not something I was going to tolerate, but I tolerated it because I came back. She told me that people like him, because she has been a therapist for the other side. I forget if it was just men in prison but just men like that. She's been on that other side. And she said men like that, if you put them all in a room, they're not going to talk about like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently. I wish I would have been better, so that I wish I would have treated her better and like shit like that. That's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, oh, I should have used more force, or oh, I should have intimidated her more, or oh, maybe I should have manipulated her like this. She said they will, if everyone in a room is the same, they will either be bragging or wishing they use different types of tactics, because that's how they are. That's how they work. That's how their brains work. That is what is normal to them. They are not regular. Okay, they have a personality disorder, and some of them have more than just that. Their brains are different. They are not regular, normal people that are capable of empathy, that are capable of compassion, that are on this earth to serve others. They are self-serving. I think I stuck around for another year and a half, and things, yeah. In my head, I'm like, oh, things are getting better, but they weren't really getting better, baby. They weren't. They were not. He just knew how to play the game differently. And I was telling my best friend this earlier when we were hanging out in the car. A part of me, like some days I'm just like, bleh, just have no emotion, no feeling, like dissociated from the whole thing. Sometimes I'm like, oh, when I think about what I want to share on the podcast, when I think about how much I should share on the podcast, like, oh, I want to read these emails, or oh, I want to like look at all these missed calls that he'll just be blowing up my phone. Look at all these voicemails that he'll leave, and let me read these emails. A part of me is like, oh, wait, is that petty? Like feeling empathetic towards him anyway, because even though he is this kind of person and he's done all of this fucking shit to these women, and he's treated me this way, and he treated his ex this way, and he did this and he did that, a part of me just feels sad still for him, because he's so like delusional himself that it feels like, I don't know, like I'm kicking someone when they're down or something, if that makes sense. So I'm just telling her, like, a part of me maybe still feels a little guilty every once in a while, or just bad for him, sad for him. Like, what kind of a life is that? Like, that's not a good life. That's not a fun life. That's a very sad life. To be that angry, to be that hateful, to feel so wronged by everybody, and to not be aware that, like, it's fucking you. Because if they were aware of that, I think that would completely break them as a person. So that's why they can't look at themselves. Because if they look at themselves, they have to see everything that they've done. But the thing with him is he has, quote unquote, taken ownership for all of the things that he has done to me in the past, to his ex in the past. Like, he can recount all of these things. You know what? Like, it was me. It was me this whole time. It wasn't you. You're right. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't actually believe that. They don't. They don't believe that. They're just saying whatever. They're just saying whatever. They're just trying to get you. They're just trying to get what they want. It's all manipulation. It's all sales. It's a con. It's a con. It's a long con. It's a trap. So, wow, tangent. I'm at an hour and 19 minutes. I wonder if I'm going to edit out all the fucking bullshit of me readjusting the mic and the camera, and because all of that was like 15 minutes of me trying to get my fucking life together. But anyway, we went off, baby, on this one. Holy fucking shit. And we were on one or two. And hopefully my ice cream's frozen cold by now, because it was melting. But that was on me because I came home and I sat it down on the coffee table and then I like scrolled through Instagram for however long. And then I looked at my ice cream and I'm like, oh, it's the fudge was fudging. So yeah, abusive relationships are a motherfucker when you're in it. And even more so when you don't have your support system. So do not cut them out, ladies and gentlemen. It is not something to be ashamed of, okay? You were bamboozled. Can happen to anyone. Don't shut other people out. You are not safe. So keep your friends close. And friends, if your friend is in a relationship like this, you have to hang in there and you have to be there for them. It's hard. It sucks. I know you want to scream. I know my friends wanted to just fucking grab my head like, Lisa, like, wake the fuck up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. People don't see it until they see it. That's just, and it's so fucking hard to see. So, okay, let's just remember, love wins. Please don't judge people. Just be there for your friends. Do not allow this person to isolate you. Keep your friends close. Wow, so tangents, the energy. I'm ready to eat this ice cream and get me fucking hyped back up. Thank you guys for listening. I truly hope that me sharing my story will help other people. Well, with one, helping them not feel alone. Because that is the worst. When you feel like you are the only person going through something like this, that is such a lonely feeling. You are not alone. There are so many. I don't want to give y'all false information, but I think the statistics of how many narcissists there are is like 1 in 9. Maybe 1 in 7 or 1 in 9 is a narcissist. Maybe 1 in 6. I forget. I'm sorry. But it's okay. It's a lot. There are a lot of people in this world, and those statistics, yeah, there are a lot of narcissists out there. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, people just throw that word around. No, like there are a lot of people out there like that. So don't feel ashamed. I know it's hard, but you can do hard things. I believe in you, and you're going to get through this. When you get through this, when you put in the work, when you heal, baby, life is going to be beautiful and amazing. I promise you that. You have to want it. You have to believe it. You have to be willing to process all of that fucking shit that you just went through. Grow from it. Find an inkling of positive from it. Find an inkling of something you can be grateful for have going through something like that. And letting the rest go and not letting it eat you alive because you've already been eaten up enough. Okay? Live, learn, let go. Let go of that bullshit. Once you have processed and sat in the pocket of that horrendous nightmare and having to quite literally reliving it when you're processing it, but that's going to help your brain, that's going to help your nervous system to like understand what the fuck you just went through. And understanding that that can happen to literally anyone. So again, I will repeat. Please don't feel ashamed. I need a burp. It can happen to anyone. And it does. It happens all of the fucking time. But sitting in the pocket, healing, processing, growing, thanking the universe and all of the gods that you are no longer in a situation like that, and you are out of it, and you are able to just be yourself and be at peace and feel love and safety, real love and safety from yourself, from your friends, from anyone and everyone around you who is genuine. Like, that is a breath of fresh air. Being back in reality, like actual reality, and not in a narcissist's mind. Holy fucking shit. Imagine being free and how happy and how exhilarating and just delightful and wonderful that is going to feel. That is attainable. That will happen. You just have to go through the process. And it's just all light and love after that. But you have to heal and you have to process. You have to do the work so that you don't end up in another relationship like that, so that you learn, so that you're aware, so that history does not repeat itself, so you can recognize red flags, so that you're wiser, you're happier, you're brilliant, you're shining, you're a star, baby. You're light and love. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of a kind, compassionate, supportive love. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are intelligent. You are anything and everything that you believe. So believe in the positive. Do not believe what that abuser tells you. Only positive things about yourself. That's how you're going to get through this. And when you get through it, amazing. Like, I love life. I love life. I love life before him. I loved life before him. And when I met him, I knew how much happier I was before him. Doesn't matter, okay? Because we're out of it now. And we are even happier, stronger. And emphasis on the stronger, because it truly takes so much strength to pick yourself back up after being crumbled and shattered into pieces, to literally pick yourself back up and put yourself together and to walk away. That takes immense strength. And you are fucking strong. Don't ever forget it. I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you guys for listening. I love y'all. You guys are amusing. You guys are amazing. Y'all are beautiful. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Well, it's a Saturday that I'm recording this, and I don't know when it's going to upload, but I think Thanksgiving will have already been passed. So I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Good night. Bye.